Alright, Rockers, as promised, joining me now inside the ASYLUM, Ryan Neff of Miss May I. You'll be seeing him out on tour this summer on the Mayhem Festival, but I got him right now on the phone with me to catch up and see what's going on. How's it going, Ryan?
Good, good. I'm hanging out here in Ohio, dodging tornado warnings and all that good stuff right now. So I'm watching the news on my MacBook so I don't get hit by a tornado and hang out with you.
Well, we got our fingers crossed, and hopefully the metal gods will divert any storms away from where you are, and you guys will stay safe.
Yeah, I think we're good now. I think we're good.
Very cool, man. Those things are nasty. We don't want you doing any storm chaser videos. Those would get hairy.
I don't think I would ever have the balls to do a storm chaser video.
That's like me either. I enjoy watching them, but I don't think I should ever actually go out in the field and do one.
Oh yeah, I can handle it on TV, but I don't think I want to. I don't want to be the guy in the field.
No, not at all. Me either. Me either, dude. And speaking of field, you guys just did the Rock on the Range Festival. How was that, man?
That was cool. Since we're from Ohio, that was a bit of a homecoming for us. We don't get to play Ohio as often as we would like, so it was cool to play such a big festival. It was 30,000 tickets sold or something for our day. So I mean, it was huge. It was a big deal, and had a lot of family and friends there. It was a good day for us. It was awesome.
Very cool. It was nice to hear that you guys were able to play for your home crowd, since you don't get to do it that often. Is that mainly because of the heavy touring schedule that you guys have, that it doesn't always bring you guys back home, or is it just how the dates just happen to fall out?
The schedule on the last record sort of turned into a much more worldwide spectrum for us. The first two records, we had touched in Europe or the UK maybe once or twice, but things really kicked off on the last record for us. So when you're touring 6 or 7 months a year and you only, you're on the road 9 months a year, it only leaves you the opportunity to tour Ohio or tour America twice. And a lot of it, like Mayhem Festival, doesn't even go to Ohio. So, you do get those tours that don't even visit here. So it's a little difficult for us to play home, but it just makes it all that much better when we get the opportunity. This time was Rock on the Range, and the time before that was direct support for Killswitch Engage. So at least any time we play here, it's always a great time.
Well, that's always good. I mean, they always say the best crowds are always your hometown crowd, so I'm sure they did you guys proud.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you bring up Killswitch Engage and Five Finger, and you guys will be going out with Avenged Sevenfold, and those are some of the bands along with Five Finger Death Punch. A big list of bands that have been main influences on you guys as a band. What's it like now, going out and going on tour and sharing the stage with some of these bands that were such a big influence on you guys as you guys were developing into what you are today?
As far as in the story of how things have been for us, it's been like that all the way up through the rankings, and we had the chance to tour with. It's taken us a long time, but we've been fans of Killswitch Engage forever. So same with Five Finger and Avenged, and the whole way up we've been touring with these bands that we look up to and we love, and now it's cool to finally be up here with the big dogs, getting the chance to tour with them and stuff. It's so crazy. It's one thing to do a tour with a band one time, but it's another when you end up touring with them multiple times, and you get to that point where you show up at a random show and you see these guys and you remember each other and you start talking, and you realize that you're peers sometimes rather than just fans. and it's so cool to be lucky enough to be in a situation where that gets to happen to us.
You kind of have one of those moments of where you always dreamed about that happening, and then there it is happening, in front of you, and you almost wonder, is this a dream or is this the reality?
Yeah, definitely.
It's always good to hear that, from somebody I mean, you guys have been around for 4 years, and yet, in some aspects, you guys are still a young band, in the world of rock and metal. So many people still being turned on to you guys, and I think the biggest input as to how many people are becoming turned on to Miss May I is the success of Rise of the Lion, number 2 on the Billboard Hard Rock Music Charts, number 4 on the Independent, number 6 on the Rock, and number 21 out of the top 200. I mean, that says a lot right there.
It's insane. It's another one of those things that we never expected to be happening for our band, and it's so cool to have the opportunity to get our music out to that many people. And the best part is the touring that we get to do now. But I'm so excited about everything that we have coming up this year. And that kind of stuff doesn't come without, having that kind of, sometimes doesn't come without having the success of the sales and stuff. So it's really cool to know that we have that behind us, and it's crazy, man. I can't. It's so weird. It's so weird to talk about that kind of stuff, because it's not stuff that we ever thought would happen to us. And the last 2 records, things have just ramped up so much. It's been wild.
I mean, yeah, you guys literally blew up. I mean, I remember when you guys were first nominated for Revolver's, I believe it was the Golden God Artist of the Year, I believe it was, or Best New Artist about a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that really put you guys on my map. I started looking into you guys, and your new album, Rise of the Lion, is just a solid album from start to finish. What was it like during the writing process of that, going into it knowing that you guys had really built up some nice head of steam and a really, really big following? Were you guys worried about what you were going to put out? Did you guys just go in and say, hell, let's just balls to the wall do this?
Yeah, we knew that with the momentum that we built up with the record before, that we had to be, excuse me, we had to write the right record. And we've been working really hard with the record with that heart to, slowly change our sound a little bit, and, start taking in more of the broad spectrum of bands that influence us, rather than staying in the really tight box we've made for ourselves on the first 2 records. And we knew if we were going to talk about that as much as we did the record before, when we get all the press and people asking about, what, because that's always the question, like, what are you going to do next? Now that we've heard this, what are you going to do next? And we knew that, as excited as everyone was to ask us about Rise of the Lion before it had even been written, we knew that if we didn't treat that with the right amount of respect and write a good record, that, we weren't going to be able to capitalize on all that momentum, and it wouldn't have, it would have all been wasted. So we made sure that we took an extra 2.5 weeks off the road, in between 2 tours. Basically, there's no other time to do it, so we just did a tour and then took 2.5 weeks where we stayed at the studio pretty much, and we wrote the record. And this was all the way back in like April, I think, or March maybe. And we didn't go in and start recording the record until September, I believe. So it was really cool because we actually got the opportunity to spend a lot of time on the songs and think about them before we got there, to start recording them again with Terry. And then working with somebody like Terry in itself was a whole different animal, which changed the whole process for us as well.
Well, it's good to hear that you guys, went into it with the right state of mind, to do it right and take the time to do it. There's so many bands out there that would have went into the studio and rushed out another album to try to cash in on the success and not risk any downtime. But I think in your guys' case, that downtime and that quietness into social media and only putting stuff out, once in a while about the process, definitely helped build some of the hype on its own leading up to the album.
Yeah, the recording process for us has always been a little bit more, I guess on every record it's been more private. I mean, any updates we've done have been pretty distant from the actual recording process because we've never done a record where we haven't been working so hard the whole time that we had time to document anything like that. I mean, and it was the same this time. We were catching footage when we could, but I guess we kind of accidentally keep things more private when we're in the studio because our heads are in the game. No one's trying to worry about the social media aspect. It's actually kind of nice to get in the studio because you don't have to worry about anything else from it. Like nobody in the whole music realm is trying to bother you when you're in the studio. Everything gets deferred, so it gives you the chance to just kind of tune everything out, which was cool. We also lived in Seattle, which was, it was really far from home, completely different weather, and it was summertime there, so it was awesome. The whole experience overall was just the best that we've had for the record, and I think that translates into how well it turned out.
Well, I love hearing that because, it's hard for me to not get involved on social media on a daily basis. So to hear you guys be able to say, you know what, let's just concentrate on getting this album done. We'll do social media when and as we need to, as opposed to a constant barrage of what you guys are up to. And I mean that's just a big, kind of an old school way of doing it, as opposed to the new school overly done social media promotion of an album.
Well, and you have to do the promotion of the record. It's unfortunate that that's been, but I guess it's not unfortunate for the fans because the amount of content that gets out there to promote a record, but if the records just won't go like they used to, and the record content is so easily distributed now. Like there are so many people who get a hold of the record and are listening and never buy it. And that's one of the reasons is there's so many bands out there at the same time, so many great records, that you almost have to have an endless supply of new stuff for the social media stuff to keep people interested because there's so much stuff coming out of them all the time. So I feel like you have to be able to take a break every now and then. Especially because now that the band is growing, it's not like it used to be where everybody's on our side. Like we've officially hit that point that I always wondered if we would get to, where it becomes cool for elitist people to dislike your band. And when that kind of happens, that makes the social media thing that much more fun because you have so many loving and stoked and excited fans, and then you have so many people who are just like, they don't want to like the band because so many people like the band that they don't want to be a part of it. And you start getting bombarded with that sort of stuff when you're online all the time doing it. It's too stressful. There's no reason to stress out over the internet. I say that. I try my best not to.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, no matter what you do in life, once you reach a certain level, that's when, as they say, the haters come out.
Yeah, the word I try to never use.
Right, it's the word we all try to never use because it's so negative, and yet, unfortunately,
you want to think that everybody who says that that's true is wrong, but I mean, there are people that like to just complain and dislike things for fun. Everybody likes to dislike some stuff. You can't like everything. It's impossible. But the internet gives people a crazy forum to make themselves much louder. So
luckily for you guys, Rise of the Lion has definitely proved that while there may be people that may think it's cool not to like you guys, the numbers speak for itself with the success of the album. So that says volumes right there. Now you guys are getting ready to do a ton of touring. You guys are heading over to Europe to do the Rock and Ring Festival, and then over the Download Festival, and then you'll be.
Well, we've got a lot of touring coming up for the rest of this year. We've got the whole European festival thing is crazy. Going in the gigantic outdoor festivals, more people than we ever imagined we'd play for. Then we've got the Mayhem Festival all summer, which is just insane. Such an awesome lineup, and so cool to be a part of the outdoor American festival atmosphere again. And then we've already got stuff being planned for the rest of the year, and after that, I mean, it's going to be a pretty busy record cycle for us, but we're the kind of guys we're going to be busy in the second time, so good news.
Well, that's true. The old saying is, idle time leads to mischief. So it's a good thing you guys are keeping busy, getting out there, and doing all the dates that you guys have coming up, including Rockstar Mayhem Festival. Now, is there anything you guys are going to do differently between the European festivals and Mayhem Fest, or is Europe was Rock on the Range almost like a warm up for you guys for Europe and so on? Or
yeah, I think we'll treat the Rock on the Range as a one-off. The set list will change for the European one. The thing that's weird in Europe is we have so many different set lengths, so many different sets that we'll have to play with different headlining shows and venue support shows for other friends' bands when we're there, like the 5 p.m. and Weekend is Romans here or there, Trivium one day. But then you've got the other days where you're out on the festival figures and you got a really short 25 and 30-minute set. So I think we'll probably have to have 3 or 4 different sets for that tour. Mayhem will be a little bit different set, I'm sure, but the crazy thing about that tour is they're back-to-back. So whatever we change, we got to already be good at before we bring it out on Mayhem, because it's going to be one of those leave one tour, fly home, get the gear in the bus, and get in the bus, head to the tour kind of deal. So it's kind of hectic, but it's not something we haven't tackled before or don't tackle all the time. It's pretty common for us, thankfully. So we'll see. It should be exciting. I don't think fans should worry. We're going to have to change them up. I don't think we'll have the option of keeping the fans.
Very awesome. It's always good to hear. It's also good for the fans in each area. With the internet now, people are able to find out what songs were played on what shows, and sometimes it hurts the turnout. So it's good to hear that you guys are going to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, the hardest part now for us is just the fact that we're on the 4th record. We've got so many songs, and with such a great fan base we have a lot of songs people want to hear. So it's hard for us to go into a tour. You kind of got to gauge the age group, and you got to gauge what songs are popular, from those age groups and what records they like the most. It's hard now, but we gotta get out there. We gotta headline sometimes. It's a long set list, so we can play whatever we want.
That's what you need. A nice, solid headline spot. That way you guys can just pick and choose whatever you want from your entire catalog.
Yeah, that'll be the day. It's coming sometime. We'll get a good one in there somewhere.
Oh, no doubt about it. I sense it with what you guys are doing. I'd say within probably another year or two, you'll be headlining your own shows, and you'll be able to pick and choose whatever you want without have to worry about it. Well, I know you're busy dodging storms here and there, so I don't want to keep you much longer. Why don't we pick out a track from Rise of the Lion for everyone to hear? And what track should I play for everyone?
Man, but Hero with No Name.
Hero with No Name. Awesome.
That's my favorite song that we have jammed live so far.
Really?
Yes, so far. We got to play that one at Rock on the Range. That's my favorite one that we've played live so far. It's so much fun.
Very awesome. What's the, is there any backstory behind that when you guys were writing it?
Yeah, that one is, that one's for American military men. But all the song titles came from topics from fans, and that one came from getting a bunch of letters from fans on deployment or fans on deployment or meeting them overseas, that sort of thing. So that song was sort of written for them, and that was I think one of the earliest and heaviest songs we wrote. So we wanted to make sure that we had a really hard-hitting topic when we did that one. It was one of the first ones we wrote, and it's still probably the most fun.
Awesome, dude. So, Ryan, thank you for taking the time out to do this little interview with me here tonight, and everyone go out and see them on the Mayhem Festival. Here it is right now, Miss May I from Rise of the Lion in stores now. Hero with No Name. Stay tuned for more of the ASYLUM.